screw it. Let's just get started with the E3 predictions.
All right.
We'll go round robin. That's the fun way to go. I will start at this end of the table with Marty Sleva. Give me an E3 prediction, Marty. Bold, safe. I don't know where you're going.
I don't do any safe ones.
Oh, all
I
right.
don't practice safe predictions. I think,
Story of your life,
yes,
isn't it?
absolutely. I think Yooka-Laylee will be on the Microsoft stage, and I think it will be revealed that it will have some sort of tie-in to the Banjo-verse.
Even though it's Playtonic is actually developing the Wii U version, and it's
and the PC
Xbox.
version. Yeah,
the Xbox version is and PS4 versions are ports by their publisher/developer partner Team 17.
Yeah. Very strange. But yes, I think we've seen in the past that Phil, like when there was the voting open for Smash Brothers characters, Phil said like he'd be totally cool with Banjo being in the game. So I think that they would be fine with. I don't think this game's not going to be like Banjo 3 or anything, but we saw at the end of the Yooka-Laylee trailer that there was a Jiggy in the background. So like they're using some iconography, and I don't think they'd use it without getting permission.
Well, and the way it was framed in that trailer too was very like wink wink to me, because it was like the trailer had already faded to black, done the title cards and all that stuff, and then it came back to the scene,
and it was everything about it was Banjo. It had the dialogue boxes were the exact font and set up as Banjo, the way the shot framed in with sort of like the shape into the darkness was exactly how Banjo does it.
They could realistically get sued for that, but
that's why I think they have permission.
A, we think they have permission,
yes.
But B, I really don't think that Microsoft would do that, because that would be terrible for PR.
It'd be the worst PR,
Like to be attacking Playtonic for making something that people wanted for a really long time.
Yeah, so I think it'll have some tie, whether it's Banjo or whether it's a thing from Banjo or something.
So you think it's set in the Banjo universe?
Yeah, or at least something like
mean?
like the way you get cheats in the game might be through Cheeto, or like something small, or maybe a nod to Mumbo or a nod to Spiral Mountain.
Let me ask you this, Marty. So, because for a while, you know, there was some Twitter thing where their Twitter icon changed to a honeycomb, and we were all convinced for about 5 minutes that this game was going to become Banjo-Kazooie 3. I think we're past that now. But do you think, based on your prediction, that Playtonic's next game after Yooka-Laylee is Banjo-Kazooie 3 in full partnership with Microsoft?
That would be awesome. Like, that'd be super awesome. And then Rare can do the Fable game we keep talking about.
When we brought it up, it happened on Twitter. I don't know if it was like Phil Spencer, I think, was the one who replied to it. Someone tweeted in relation to Unlocked, and Marty and I were tagged in it, that was like, when is Banjo 3 coming? And his response was, Rare's pretty busy right now.
Yeah.
That's all he said.
Yeah.
Which means maybe eventually. And wouldn't it be convenient to just hire Playtonic to do that, because you're hiring the people who made Banjo?
Why not, right?
Yeah.
And
That'd be great.
especially if Rare is going to be busy not only for the immediate future with Sea of Thieves, but presumably because it's a Destiny-style
persistent
online game, they're going to be busy with support after it ships.
Yeah.
Why not dial up Playtonic and be like, hey, we had a good thing there with that
Y'all heard of
Yooka-Laylee.
Banjo?
Yeah. I got to see Banjo on stage for the first time last year ever with Rare Replay.
That's right.
Sure.
I mean, I didn't see a bear, but it wasn't
that's
a real
Banjo
bear.
himself?
Now I just feel bad
Banjo
for you.
herself. Banjo's a girl.
Wow.
Is that true?
This shatters my entire reality.
I made that up.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie.
Bears could be girls.
Yes, bears can be
No,
girls.
they can't,
Don't ask the
Marty.
question.
They reproduce asexually. They're like worms. All right. Alana Pierce.
You know what?
Give me an E3
The
prediction.
first one that I wrote was Yooka-Laylee. That's all I wrote, though. So the second one is Forza Horizon 3. I feel like that's a really easy one. But
God, I hate you. I already
You
had
guys,
that written down.
I called Ryan out on having that be one of his
now,
predictions too.
you can direct it her way.
Yeah,
now.
that's a real weak ass prediction.
But I like how I didn't actually say what I'm predicting, though. I just said Forza Horizon 3. All right.
Hold on, I'm going to back
I
you up on
predict
this.
that a car is going to fall from the ceiling during the Microsoft conference.
And crush Phil Spencer.
Or be in some kind of like turning table. There's going to be a car there when they announce Forza Horizon 3. Physically.
What kind of a
in the
car? What
conference.
color is the car going to be?
Green?
No, they would never pick a green car.
Why?
It'll be red.
It's a green color.
They had at an Australian convention, we had a
CarCon?
Xbox
It'd be
race
red.
car that like they actually took to Bathurst, which is like one of our biggest professional car races, and it was green and had Xbox colors all over it.
Well, last year's
Which is
Forza
green,
actual
right?
race.
Last year's Forza Motorsport 6 car was blue, and
yeah.
then the year before that was Forza Horizon 2, which was a yellow Lamborghini. just rolling through the
I
spectrum.
feel like yellow kind of does make me think of.
These
Forza
are
Florida.
pie in the sky predictions. So green, maybe.
Hold on.
Yes, it's a green car.
I'm going to back you up on this. I'm going to defend you from Marty and his disgusting.
You got a long
You know.
road ahead of you. He's very mean.
Yeah. So, Turn 10 has said back when we announced Forza Horizon 2 when we first started IGN first. I asked them point blank, like, hey, would you guys ever do a third franchise to keep mixing things up more instead of just Horizon Motorsport? And they said, yep, we're totally into it. We're totally up for that and open to that idea. So Horizon 3 could have, she's going out there instead of saying a new third Forza franchise.
See?
So there, Marty.
Yeah.
You're
So
both
there.
Me
we're
and
both
my
monsters.
crazy predictions.
What if the third pillar? So we have the sort of hardcore sim of Forza. We have the more so open casual nature of Horizons. What if the third pillar goes
Trials?
full arcade and is like
Trials.
Trials, Burnout,
Yeah.
like
That'd be awesome.
yeah, I can get behind that.
I mean,
I don't think it'll
hire
happen.
Neither.
But it would be cool.
I think it'd be more likely that they would have
Forza.
parts
It's so
like that in
rash.
Forza Horizon.
It's so awesome.
Forza Crash. All right.
But everyone
now it
already
has to get
does that
made.
in like mainline Forza anyway.
No,
like,
but
yeah, but like cool
not
stuff
rewarding
happens.
you for it.
Yeah.
That's true. Like with the shunting and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't, you
oh,
can't
like
say
Blur.
that. No, I'm kidding.
what it was
You could
called,
totally
right?
call. You could
It's-
totally
yeah.
say
Shunting sounds
shunting.
like a sex act.
Doesn't make it a sex thing.
I'm like, did I use the wrong name?
My
Yeah,
wife shunted
did
me
you
last
guys
night.
play
It was
Blur?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played Blur. Blur was awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad to
Yeah,
say you
it was
replied.
great.
We
And
got
that studio
shunting.
went away forever. It was really
was a
sad.
really good
We got
game.
shunting on the mind.
I went to their studio. They were really cool people, and then like a month later, they shut down.
Yeah.
I felt really bad.
Blur was bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Makers of Project Gotham Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
That
Oh, that
arcade
one.
game for Sega.
Oh,
Geometry Wars.
Geometry Wars. Yeah, because it's in all of Project Gotham Racing's, and I think it might even be in Blur. Maybe not, but you know how
No.
you can walk around your garage in Project Gotham Racing and you can like find
Say
it?
garage again?
Garage.
Just yeah.
All day.
That was different. That was a little different.
This is a real solid stare.
I used to say pop instead of soda, and nobody knew what I was talking
Oh, that's the.
about.
I
I
hate
say
that.
soft drink.
That's
Soft
I'm fine
drink?
with.
What's a hard drink? Booze?
Alcohol.
You're look who's talking.
You don't know?
Literally everything you consume that's liquid.
No,
Marty.
I had coffee this morning.
All right.
Even that's got something.
Yeah, I feel like
in it.
that's kind of a hard
I
drink.
know you got the vodka, a little
Yeah.
little something in there.
If you listen to this week's Beyond, you're going to see a lot of that.
Oh man. Unfortunately, I'm going to stick with this. You can call me out if you want. This kind of already got leaked. It's not confirmed, but I thought Dead Rising 4 because
What was the leak for that?
well, there are alleged
Image.
screenshots, like taken with a cell phone of a TV.
I think that'll be a big push for that.
But yeah, I mean, the reason that I had gone with this anyway is because Dead Rising 3 was a launch title, so it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That Capcom Vancouver team has to have been doing something
I don't
for the
want
last 2.5
another
years,
one.
and I feel like that franchise isn't dead yet. There's still life in it, and so undead life. Yeah,
I got you.
Marty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I see what you
Nice.
did.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Very smart.
So yeah, I just feel like it's not going to be a new IP. I think we're going to get at least one more Dead Rising, and I think this is the time for it. And unfortunately, it does seem to have leaked out ahead of time. Not confirmed. They could be fake. We've seen more effort go into faking things on the internet before.
That's true.
But I'm totally willing to buy into
How
this.
long was it between all of the previous ones? I guess it probably would have been 2 or 3 years.
I guess it almost doesn't matter though because development's so different now than it
Yeah.
was even. I mean, between Dead Rising 1 and 2, that was almost about 10 years ago. So things are pretty different now.
I love Dead Rising 1 so much.
Yes.
I played
Well,
through
I mean,
multiple
I
endings
think
of that game.
I think one of the rumors about this is that it's not Dead Rising 4, is that it's a reboot,
Yeah.
which is the same. I
With
think that was one of my
the
predictions
damage
with
we-
Resident
yeah,
Evil.
with
What?
Frank
Aren't they
West.
all reboots?
How would they?
No, just like
I mean, none of them
as in it's
really-
going to take place in a mall.
Well,
Oh,
and you're Frank
with
West.
Frank West.
Yeah,
I love
yes.
The
Frank
image
West.
we saw says Dead Rising 4. It's Frank West, and it looks like he's in one of the main settings of the game.
Willamette,
Yeah.
Colorado. Yeah, on the mall.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was this specific like food court where you would fight one of your battles, and
Yeah.
That's a mall.
Lots of them.
With gluttony.
It is a mall. Yes, that's correct. But
Battle of
it would be
Gluttony.
interesting if they titled it Dead Rising 4, but it was a reboot. I think you'll go back to that location, but I don't think it's like a remake
Yeah,
of the
I
first
see where you're
one.
going. Like
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
weird considering.
There's
we're-
stuff about the first one that I would love to play through again.
I
yeah.
love that mall. That
Like,
mall
the
was so
clown-
fun.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going though, Destin. That it's like it would be weird for for Dead Rising 3 to exist on the Xbox One, and then for the next game to be Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Like, so
we've seen the logo though. It's Dead Rising 4.
I mean,
Again,
we've seen an
pretty-
image, and
a
it has
legend
that like
logo.
lens flare that I'm
It
always
looks
like,
like-
oh, this is fake.
It looks like a GameStop poster leak again.
But it's not that hard to take a picture without like a flash and a lens flare in the background. It always
Apparently
seems like
it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if
the
it took
kids love
place
their
in like
Instagram
a
filters.
super mall, like in Dubai. You know how like you ever?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, with like
Yeah.
a ski field?
yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Like a mall that was like a
But-
little Disneyland.
Yeah, if it's a remake, I would 100% be down for a remake. Don't call like people like you hate remakes. No, I hate remasters.
Yeah.
If it's a remake, a reimagining, a new take on Dead Rising 1 on new tech.
I mean,
in
that's
the
the same
mall.
as like the new DMC compared to Devil May Cry.
Exactly.
It's a
Kind of like how we
remake.
want them to handle the Mass Effect remake.
What
No.
remake?
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Like we want all the Mass Effect games in Mass Effect 3's engine.
Yeah.
Well,
That's not, no.
That's
That'd
a
be
little
still
bit
more of a
different.
remaster.
I'm trying to understand what you're asking.
Because
for.
like we talked what,
Like
a
he's
week or
talking
two
about
ago.
Resident Evil, like the Resident Evil remake for GameCube.
where it's totally different
just
graphics
from
new
scratch,
engine.
same story, same premise, but just new design.
Okay.
Totally, started
just-
over.
Every single Dead Rising game kind of feels like a remake to me anyway, though,
bit.
because they are all fairly different characters, different places.
Right.
So it
Yeah, I
isn't it
liked,
just a new game?
I liked 3, but I didn't actually finish it.
I didn't either.
1 is still very much
I
my
adore
favorite.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I wonder
not-
how
it's
it
not
plays
close.
now.
That's a good question.
Probably age
It
dependent.
was rough. Like even when it was out, there was some problems with it, but you just kind of forgave it because it was
'Cause it
so
was
early
really
in the life
arcadey.
cycle.
Well, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
original too.
Yeah, and original.
And it's so gorgeous for the time.
Yes.
I think they would have to update that sort of control scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Destin, I go to you, my friend.
Okay, I
Give me
wrote
an
down
Xbox E3 prediction.
I wrote down a few big things, and we've talked about this one on the show quite a bit. I think they're working very, very hard to get that Oculus announcement on stage at E3 this year.
for next week.
Yeah, they're going to announce their partnership with Oculus and how that's going to work with the Xbox One because they need that, basically. They need their VR answer. We've seen HoloLens.
Make a good point.
HoloLens looks absolutely fantastic, but if
It's
they
not
were to
ready
just...
for prime time.
Yeah, it's not. If they were just like...
And
hey,
meaning,
we're
it's,
part-
meaning it's $3,000.
It's
Yeah.
also Google Glass. It's not a parallel to VR. It's a parallel to.
It's AR.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so I think they come on stage. They're like, we already have a great partnership with Oculus. We're happy to announce that, you're now going to be able to use your Oculus with the Xbox 4.5.
So,
So,
that's where I was
yeah.
just going to ask you next. So you
They
think,
need the hardware.
You
update.
think they will mention the upgraded Xbox within the context of this?
they're going to do it in a subtle way? I think. I don't know.
So you think-
that's the one I'm a little hazy on. How are they going to announce the hardware change?
Right.
Like to play this, you're going to need an upgraded Xbox. So we also announced
Because
that.
I've been to
Yeah.
enough of these where I think I can predict how they would do it.
How do you think they do?
I think it would be exactly what you're saying. Of we're proud to partner with Oculus, and on a in the near future on the Xbox platform,
Yeah.
you will be able to just keep it
Yeah.
super
Subtle.
vague,
Yeah.
but
And
still
then maybe
get the message across.
I mean, you just sold me on it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox platform. That's sweet.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they'll deliver it. But
Yeah,
the,
like
the
the Xbox
hardware part, they're like, we'll talk about that
the
later.
Xbox
Yeah.
platform will soon be home to the living room home to the Oculus.
Yeah,
something like that.
That'd be great. And there's a lot of articles out right now about how Microsoft could easily make the whole Xbox One library available on PC. I
Sure.
think it would be very easy for them to do, like using the cloud and all this technology they have access to.
Well, it's all
So-
Windows 10. They just have to get so it's all there.
It's all Windows 10. They're already talking about your games working on both platforms and everything. So there's something there too. I just feel like they're working towards this Oculus announcement.
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely
like
think
that.
so.
Marty, going back to you, my friend.
Yes.
Give me round 2.
I
I got
think
3 rounds of this.
Red Dead 2, and we say Red Dead 2 because that's what we mean,
Red
and we
Dead
realize
3.
there's 3 of them.
Yeah, but we're talking about Red Dead Redemption
Redemption
2.
2.
People
Yeah.
keep doing that. Like, we don't know that Red Dead Revolver exists. I'm like, trust me, everyone in this room is aware
Yeah.
that game exists.
It's going to be revealed on stage, and a horse is going to come out on stage. The horse
Green?
is going to be brown.
Brown.
It's going to have teeth and a saddle.
They would
It's gonna
never
make a
bring
noise
a
like
live
that.
horse on stage.
That was pretty
bring
good.
a live horse on stage. That wasn't great.
That'll be at the battlefield.
Step up your horse game,
Sorry.
Australian.
Yeah. Yes, I think Red Dead 2 will be there. We'll see some sort of a trailer. I don't think it'll come out this year.
You think it'll be announced at the Xbox conference specifically?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, it would be there or Sony. Those would be the only two conferences that would be announced at.
Yeah.
Has Rockstar traditionally aligned with one or the other? They've been kind of back and
Well,
forth,
they
right?
Sony,
Yeah, back and forth.
traditionally.
Yeah,
Except for that one year.
GTA 4 was aligned with Microsoft.
Yes, but only
DLC.
to say that it's coming out at the same time. Remember?
No, the DLC came out first on 360.
The DLC did, but the actual GTA 4, because up till then, of course, they'd always
Moore
come
got
out
his cool
first
tattoo?
on PS2.
If Red Dead 2 is on Microsoft first, will it also be on Sony later?
No.
No?
I mean, they didn't do that with
It does
the other
happen
two.
sometimes. Like
Like
Ubisoft.
Red Dead 2 has a reveal on
no,
Microsoft.
I don't think anything's ever
and
been
then-
on Microsoft and Sony. A lot of things
Oh,
have
you're
been
right.
on third
One or the
party
other.
and
You're right.
first party.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right.
Forces. And it's going to be called Red Dead
Revenge.
Revenge. I like that. I was going to say Revengeance, and I was like, that was
I
weird.
really
it's
feel like
about
it's
the
going to be called
son
Red Dead
story.
Redemption 2.
Well,
I really think it is.
Didn't the rumors say it was going to take place before Red Dead
I mean,
Redemption?
it would make sense to be before Redemption because there's a lot of implied history that we never see.
Well,
But it'd
based
be
off the ending of
yeah.
Red Dead
You're probably not
Redemption.
gonna play
It's
as
such
Marston.
a good ending.
I don't want to ruin it for
It's
anybody.
incredible. But I really don't like the son. I don't want to play
That's
the
what
whole
I
game
think
with that
2 would
kid.
take place before. Yeah. It'd be like
All right.
Marsden's papa.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or his mom, Jane Marsden.
Could
I
happen.
want to play that game again. Just make it backwards compatible today, please.
Could happen.
Yeah.
No, that would probably be a.
That would
If
be-
you
I
already
think that would
prediction
be a-
Xbox, it would
yeah.
be part of
Yeah.
the announcement for sure.
All right,
We get out
Alana?
of this podcast. Hey, they announced Red Dead 2.
That's usually what happens.
Damn it!
Yeah.
What do you got, Alana?
Look, I'm out because my other notes were ukulele and Oculus compatibility.
Whoops.
So I'm done. Everyone else covered
All right.
everything. You did a really good
All right,
job.
I'm going to give you my super bold one now. I've been building to this for a long time. So I'm predicting that Phil will announce the return of Xbox Live Arcade, including Live Arcade Wednesdays, games every Wednesday, curated, and Summer of Arcade. And the reason that I'm going out with this as a prediction, I have anecdotal evidence that I can't explain right now.
Get out.
Ooh.
That may prove to be
Anecdotal.
totally coincidental.
Yeah.
But
Your evidence is pretty good.
it is. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So
I want to know.
I'm just saying.
You know what he's talking about as well.
You do too. We'll tell you later. We'll remind you. But anyway, so there are things that we know that point to this possibility. I don't know this. I'm not just like being cute, and I know this is happening. This is a legit prediction. I don't know for sure, but based on a thing that I found out.
God, this is terrible.
on a thing I know for a fact.
Shut it off.
Even
I just
I'm
shut it off
annoyed.
right
Like
now.
even I'm like, damn it, Ryan.
What do you want from me?
I would also like to mention that if you live in the southern hemisphere, I mean the northern, not the southern
What?
hemisphere, it's called Winter of Arcade.
We learned that. Anyway, I predict Summer of Arcade and Live Arcade itself, including Live Arcade Wednesdays, are coming back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Destin?
All right, so I have some stuff written here, but I'm going to have some fun with my next prediction.
Good.
I think the first non-Kojima produced Metal Gear is going to be revealed on the
yes.
Xbox stage. And
That-
they're going to announce their new artistic direction, and it'll be
Live action? Like Lethal Enforcers or Sewer
just
Shark?
it's like how they're taking the franchise seriously. They're going to move on after that well-known departure.
Maybe they could announce a DLC.
Nah, he's gone.
Like
No.
that?
That game's
No.
done.
That's
No,
over for
I know
Johnny.
he is, but does that mean that they're not allowed to change anything about that game with Kojima?
Well, they
being
can
on?
do whatever they
Couldn't they
want,
add a
probably.
DLC?
They own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to them. This will probably never happen
Look, I really,
in the next 5 years.
I really don't see that happening. Yeah.
I mean, have fun.
Well, so I like this prediction, Destin, because I think logistically, like normally I would say it's too soon. They just shipped Metal Gear in September. But the reason why I think you might be onto something is specifically because of the backstory. Like, I think you're right. I think Konami probably does want to sort of wipe the slate clean and move past Kojima as quickly as possible. So even though they probably don't have a game yet, because it's only been 6-7 months or whatever it is since Metal Gear 5 shipped, I could see them just busting out a super teaser CG thing just to be like, hey, we're doing our own new Metal Gear. Here you
Also
go.
Like,
to
it could
kind
be
of-
David Hayter doing the narration. That would be a good piece of like David Hayter narrating, and then like just a logo.
Yeah.
And then Konami talks briefly, or the presenter talks briefly about how Konami is predicted for the Metal Gear franchise.
Right.
I mean, I feel like they kind of need to do that, right? They kind of need to be like, hey, here's what our direction is from now on,
Yeah.
because nobody has any idea.
We already know the
Still don't
direction.
think it's gonna happen,
It's the
but-
pachinko machine.
Oh my god.
That
maybe.
makes them actual money in Japan.
I would love to see something like this because they need to do some sort of damage control over there about this with this franchise.
Yeah.
No, they need to
on.
outsource it to a developer.
They did before, and that one did Revengeance.
Yeah,
It
the
did
Platinum.
Okay.
That game was cool.
That game
Yeah.
was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
liked it.
sales-wise, though, how did it do? I don't remember.
Yeah, I would guess
yeah,
okay.
It
Yeah.
sold 1 billion.
No.
Best-selling game of all time. Move over
That's
Minecraft.
made up.
That doesn't seem
So
right.
Ubisoft Toronto's doing it. It's a Metal Gear Splinter Cell crossover.
Yeah, I can
It's
get behind
happening,
that.
you
Yeah, I'd
guys.
play it.
I can buy
Damn.
it.
I'd play that.
Yeah. I feel like we're also like just easy ones. I think we'll see a lot of gameplay of Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, I think
And I think
that's,
probably, hopefully, Recall.
Well, I would hope so. It was we
Forgot
literally
about
haven't seen it since last year's
Yeah.
E3.
I
So
haven't even heard anything about it, so
No.
hopefully we see some
been
gameplay.
radio
of those.
silent on that one.
Yeah, both those games have pretty much been off the grid for a year.
Yeah, which means they're prepping for E3, I figure.
Marty, you got one more in you?
Yeah.
Want to share it?
Yeah, sure. I think sort of in line with last year's backwards compatibility announcement, I think they're going to announce that a large library of original Xbox games are now downloadable. Stuff like KOTOR, stuff like Jade
Brute
Empire,
Force?
Brute Force, Blinks, Fusion Frenzy. And that would be in line too with Sony recently has the PS2 classics
Yeah.
on PS4.
Yeah.
So similar thing
And
where they cost like $10 or something.
Phil did say last year, of course, somebody asked him, and he said, "Well, yeah, we'd like to do that. We have to prioritize our resources. So hopefully those
And I think
resources have
backwards
been."
compatibility obviously has been probably a bigger success than they even imagined.
Sure seems like it.
Yeah.
They've been adding things almost on a weekly basis.
If
at
it's
this
just,
point.
I guess, anecdotal from IGN traffic,
Yeah.
like people
lot
like
of
when we
interest.
update that page of backwards compatible games, people are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Destin?
All right. We know Remedy's working on 2 things. I'll give this one to you.
I mean, we're going
You know
to talk about that later, but
Well,
Go ahead.
I don't know Alan Wake, but I think we'll see something about Alan Wake.
they already said it's not Alan Wake.
Damn it.
It's the first rumor to be debunked.
I had something else, and then I lost it. So I'm like, I don't do it.
Well,
What are you
don't
talking
say-
about? You lost it. You wrote it down right here. I had a whole bit that I was going to leave the
Did
room.
you- okay, all right. So the thing I actually wrote down was I think they'll do something Battletoads this year.
Not-
He
that
dropped the
seems
They
mic.
teased it last year, and they did the rare replay thing. And sorry, Marty, but I mean, they have something else with Battletoads.
Done
I don't
with
think
this
they're just not gonna let that.
Make sure you're on
franchise
mic
go.
when you announce you're quitting.
Marty, what do you think? Do you think it was just all about rare replay?
I got forced to take a picture with that large, ugly toad statue last
was
year, and I didn't like
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
No, it was not amazing.
No,
it was
it
terrible.
was amazing
No,
for me.
It was awful. I don't want anyone
Yeah,
wearing
that sounds pretty
Zit.
amazing.
I don't want anyone
That
wearing
sounds
rats
zits and rats and herpy, and I don't want anyone wearing a shirt
Gonorrhea.
with those little toads' face on them. I think they're very ugly. I think they're very mean.
Gonorrhea,
I think their
everyone's
game's very
favorite
bad.
Battletoad.
Phil Spencer's Twitter avatar current right now, by the way. He's holding a Battletoad.
What are you doing?
In 8-bit.
Why? Why?
He's like this with an
Don't
8-bit
do that.
Battletoad.
That's
Why?
not great.
That game's terrible.
He is effing with you on purpose.
30 games in Rare Replay, and that's the 31st best game on Rare Replay. The menu is a better game than it. They're ugly. They're gross. Their feet get really big when they kick things. They make weird noises. That repelling level is really dumb.
Hey, Destin.
It's very
Yeah.
against toads.
I want to say you just made the best prediction just because it made
made
Marty
Marty
freak
Also,
out.
should
if
we
it,
just sit here
if it
silently and
happens,
see
I'm
when he stops?
legitimately just going to leave the war room. You're not going to have anyone for the post show, so...
We just hear a gunshot. Marty, no, it's not that bad.
I'm going to sacrifice an actual toad beforehand so that doesn't happen. I've never killed an animal before. This will be a first.
It's like a 5th grade science experiment.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
Yeah.
It's no problem. There are more toads. They're not
What if I make it my goal in life to get them all?
to eradicate the world. Well, then
Feel
we'd probably
like-
end up with an insect problem.
Yeah, we would have too many insects.
That's fine. I'm totally cool with bugs.
Okay.
That's
Prefer
what are you, God now?
battle bugs?
Battle bugs!
Marty's like,
Battle
I will
bugs.
decide which animals live and which die.
That's me. Hit
All
me.
right, I got one more. I actually think this is more likely for Gamescom, but I'm going to throw it out anyway with that caveat. Just because if Dead Rising 4 which I'm sticking to, and leaks suggest might be a thing. I feel like they'd probably not have 2 zombie games in one conference, but for the exact same reason that I said Dead Rising 4, in that the developer's been doing something for years, State of Decay 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like, they signed a multi-game deal, Undead Labs, I'm speaking of, signed a multi-game deal with Microsoft to make Xbox games. State of Decay was huge. They said before State of Decay came out, when it was codenamed Class 3, they had 2 ideas. They had 2 things they wanted to do, Class 3, and then there was Class 4, which was the code name for the online, like basically the MMO version of
DayZ.
what became State of Decay.
Yeah.
So sure seems like that's what they're going to make, and it sure seems like it's about time that they announced it, because that game was, State of Decay was 2013, but on 360.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually June. It was like
right
3 years ago to practically today.
Yeah.
So it does seem, I mean, granted, they did the Year 1 Survival Edition, which was just the kind of the port to Xbox One, but I got to figure it's high time. If not E3, Gamescom, but I think we could see that.
Brandon Terrell was the one who said that it would be called World of Decay. I was like, it's a good title.
World of Decay? Nah, it's fine.
That's like
if it's an MMO?
Disney park gone horribly wrong.
What are you
It's fine.
What are you shrugging? That's the best title of all time.
I don't know.
Literally, it is literally, like, objectively the greatest video game
I don't
title.
think
World of
that's how
Anything would be
objectivity
great.
works.
No, it is.
There's no way World
basic
of
physics.
Anything would be bad.
I think you're
Ask
right that we
Blizzard.
won't see 2 zombie games in one conference, though,
No.
so it could be one or the other.
All right.
I remember my other dumb one, if you want me to say it.
Please.
Okay, so
I like
From
dumb ones.
Software just released Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
They had Bloodborne on PlayStation exclusively. Maybe we see Bloodborne on the Xbox One. No, sorry. It could either be that. I don't know, Marty. Is there any legal things there that would prevent that from happening?
Yeah, Sony owns it.
Okay, so that won't happen.
That's not good from Software.
Then Xbox gets something like Bloodborne, where it's
Plasmaborn.
exclusive to their platform.
Yeah.
Urine-born.
Urine-born.
Well, what other
God.
fluids?
Really? Is that what?
No, let's not answer that
Should we
question.
keep going?
Nope. Let's
Saliva-born?
Oh, saliva.
That's what you meant with the S.
Booger-born.
Oh,
That's not really a liquid.
No.
I guess it can be.
Yeah.
Mucus-born?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Would From Software ever make an Xbox One exclusive?
Earwax-born?
I don't think so.
If Microsoft gave them a bunch of money.
They did Dark Souls.
Yeah.
What if
Why-
Armored Core comes back as an Xbox exclusive?
Otogi, son.
Togi, that was an Xbox exclusive.
It was.
Anyway, that's just something I want more than anything, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so somebody out there hopefully is going to keep score of our Xbox predictions and can write us.
Destined to
Next
wrong
week.
before we even start.
There is no prize, but other than pride. But we'll see. We'll see how we do come Monday.